So it's the first day of my second semester as a dual degree student in my public policy program, so let's chat about it. And today I thought it'd be fun to talk a little bit about what are my ins and my outs for this next semester. We're starting a new semester in the spring. We're starting 2026, and if you know me, if you've been following the blog for a while, then you know that I absolutely love new beginnings. I love the start of a new semester, a new program, a new year, and even every month. I love my monthly resets. And so I thought this would be a great time to chat a little bit about how I'm thinking about approaching this new semester and this new year. If you haven't already, go ahead and grab a little drink, sit down, and enjoy this chat with me. I have just come off of 6 weeks about break, which is the longest break I've ever had. I've definitely not had a break like that in medical school. I got a lot of rest, a lot of, binging TV shows. I watched so many shows, more shows in the last few weeks than I watched for the entire year. Really, that rest was so important to just bring me back into this work, bring me back ready to start the semester, ready to do this really important learning. It's really important work. There's so many issues in our world, in our country, that we need brave leaders to address. And so I'm just ready to stay focused, ready to get back into it. And with that, let me tell you about what I'll be learning about this semester. If you didn't watch my video about my first semester, I will link it somewhere on the screen here, but go ahead and check that out if you're interested on what classes I was taking in my first semester for my public policy degree. And also in that video, I talked about the fact that since I'm a dual degree student, I'm only doing 1 year of my master's, and so I had to take a lot of credits, and so I took 24 credits, which was the maximum you're allowed to take, way above the average of what other people were, taking. It was a lot. But we got through it and we aced our classes. Like, I killed that if I do say so myself. So because I took 24 this past semester, I'm going to be taking 20 this semester. And then there's like some credits back when I go back to medical school, and that will finish out the rest of my degree. So let's get into it. The spring, it looks easier to me. I don't know if that's just my delusion, but I feel like it's easier. All right, so here's what we're taking. First up, we have Empirical Methods 2. So that's coming off of, in the fall, we did quantitative methods, basically stats, which was a great course, learned a lot about biostats. And so in the spring now, the first course, we're focused on, jumping off of what we learned and focusing more on like how do you establish causation in data. So obviously if you're making policies, you want to be able to say, this is going to lead to that. This helped increase XYZ. So we're going to be learning about regression models, things of that nature. Then the second half of the semester, we got to choose which form of stats we want to take a deeper dive into. I really wanted to take qualitative methods because I think a lot of the research and things I'm interested in honestly needs qualitative methods to study them. Of course, I had a class conflict, and so I'm going to be taking survey methods, which I'm also very excited about. I actually have a project I'm working on right now that I think we're going to end up using survey methods, and so it's going to be great to be able to learn how do I do a survey correctly, how do I analyze that data, etc., and directly apply it to some projects I'm working on. So exciting stuff there. Class is part of the core that everyone's taking. It's called Politics and Ethics in Unstable Times. That's the one class I had today, and as the title says, unstable times are really the times that we are in. And so this is a course is going to be focused on looking at power, position, intersectionality, ethics, and how do we use those lenses to look at ethics in the times that we're in using specific cases. And so something I really enjoyed from what my professor said already is that part of this course as well is that a lot of issues are usually put in a binary of like you're either this or you're either that. And how do we as leaders see all of the different in-betweens? How do we make our case for people who might be on the opposite spectrum of us in order to actually come up with solutions, implement solutions, make our case, and have policies actually go to fruition? So I'm definitely excited to learn about that. Next, I'm planning to cross-register at Harvard Law School and take a course on reproductive rights. As you know, if you've been watching me, I'm very interested in reproductive justice. I'm planning to apply to OBGYN residency this fall. And so I just want to use this year, being here at the Kennedy School, doing this dual degree is really a way for me to explore and really learn, dive deeper into topics. And so I didn't want to leave this year without having the experience of taking a law school class. I think it'll be very interesting. I think it'll challenge me in new ways and also help me understand more of the law perspective of reproductive rights that will go right into what I'll then be doing after that, which is learning the medical perspective of actually providing that care. And so that's a course I'm super excited about. Next, I'm going to be doing medical policy writing, and this is a course specifically for those of us who are MD-MPPs. And in that course, we're going to be focusing on getting started on our policy and analyst exercise. There's a lot of acronyms, but basically, when I graduate from HMS, I have to have a scholarly project or a thesis I need for HKS, and so they're kind of combining the two. So I'll be doing some kind of master thesis on a policy that I'm interested in, and this class is going to help me start writing it. Do I know what that is going to be yet? No. It's probably likely, 100% it's going to be something about maternal health, reproductive rights, but I'm excited to kind of think through what exactly it will be to start working on it. It also sounds like I'll definitely have some deliverables out of this class, whether it's getting started on perspective pieces, op-eds, writing policy, and we'll talk about it later, but hopefully getting some more publications. So that'll be good. Next, I also took race and racism in the fall. That continues into the spring, and so I'll take another module on race and racism, looking at that lens in our public policy. There's also poverty in public policy, so I'll be diving more deep into poverty, into the policies that perpetuate it, policies to help alleviate it, and also having some health topics brought in there, such as how does our health economics work, how does Medicaid and policies that we provide to give healthcare work in this country. So that's going to be a really interesting one, again focusing on kind of those social policies and social impact that I want to do. And then speaking of social impact, the elective I'm deciding to take, course related to nonprofit leadership. Really I'm really trying to be intentional about what courses I'm taking and what I hope to get out of them. And so I was like, you know what, my time here, I really want to focus on my leadership. I've been doing that through my Zuckerman Fellowship, which is a leadership program I've been doing. And so in the future, I'm already involved in nonprofits, but I want to continue doing that in the future. And so I thought a course specifically focused on, it's basically on strategies to provide social impact. So how do you take ideas and actually do it? How do you finance it? How do you think about leading it? And I think it'll be really, really important to my growth into next steps. If you're interested in all that I've been yapping about, all these courses I'll be taking, you want to know more or see how it goes, be sure that you hit that subscribe button, as well as follow me on my other social medias. I typically post on my Instagram story, kind of giving, updates about just various things. But on my Reels and my TikTok, I do occasional days in my life, just trying to give a look at what it actually looks like to be in this program, things that I'm doing, things that I'm learning. Oh yeah, there's a lot going on this semester, y'all. I also was accepted to Harvard Kennedy School's Oval Office program, and this is specifically focused on leadership for women who are thinking about running for political office in the future. It's going to be providing us with tips, tricks, meeting people who've been in politics, leadership development. So that's literally going to be a weekly or bi-weekly thing that I'm doing on top of the class I just mentioned. Then I also have my Zuckerman Fellowship, as I mentioned before, that's all about leadership. And then I'm also involved in some conference planning. There's a lot going on. I don't want to keep rambling on, but it's going to be a very exciting semester is what I'm trying to say. There's going to be a lot of personal leadership development, and I'm happy to bring you all along with me. So as I said, be sure to subscribe, let me know what you want to see, questions, etc. Really, me sharing this journey is the purpose, to help inspire, to just show a transparent view of what it's like to be on this journey. So follow along. Okay, all right. So before we end off, that's what my spring semester is like. I did want to briefly just chat about, starting a new semester, starting a new year, and what are my ins and outs? How am I thinking about this start? First thing on my ins list, early mornings. I'm definitely a morning girl. I'm definitely a morning person. And I think that on the days where I actually wake up and give myself enough time to get ready, have a morning routine, check out my morning routine video here, those are my best days. And so this semester I don't have any 8 a.m.s or 9 a.m.s. I think my earliest start is 10:30. And so if I wake up at 6 or 7, that gives me a whole day before my day even starts. So I'm gonna be doing that this semester. Next is social media breaks. Yeah. I have to take these occasionally. I definitely recommend them. It can sometimes be tough as someone who is a content creator trying to take social media breaks. Sometimes that means right now I have Instagram deleted off my phone. Maybe I'll just post on TikTok or bringing back YouTube. Sometimes I even just deleting the apps off my phone and then only downloading them when I need to post, deleting them again. I know my app store will be sick of me when I do that, but it just really helps me to just be able to take a break and not be on it so constantly. Also in is networking. I actually can get so awkward about networking. Like, I hate the feeling of like feeling like I have to ask for something or asking for help. And that's something I definitely worked on in therapy. And I know it's an issue and I identify it. And that's why it's on my list of something to continue working on. That is okay. And that networking doesn't have to seem as scary as it really feels. Like, it can really just be like, hey, I just want to reach out and connect, a little chat here, and then keeping up. Something I've tried to do is like identify mentors and then just see if I can get 15, 30-minute check-ins like once every 3 or 4 months. And just that time alone just helps to build relationships over time. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of networking. There's so many opportunities at the Kennedy School. There's always events and things of that nature. And so as much as my schedule allows and as much as I have bandwidth for it, I'm gonna try to keep putting myself out there, making connections. It's important. Okay. Oh, that's literally what my next thing is. I said putting my work out there. So I feel like I've done a lot of things that I'm proud of, and I know that I work hard like every single day. What I really want to focus on for this semester in 2026 is like taking my work to the final finish line. That means actually publishing it. That means pitching it for publication. That means looking for like conferences or things like to put it out there, because whether it's good or not for academia, especially, I feel like that is your currency. And so I have a lot of leadership, I have a lot of like work, and I know I've made great impact, but I need to work on getting those, publications done. So that's something I'm definitely going to work on this year, this semester. And I think that my classes and where my work is really lined up to allow me to do that. Long form content is staying in. I think that we've just gotten so used to the quick 1 minute scrolls, and I feel like as a content creator, I think it was good for me to have the short form content. It allows me to get information out there, but it also is like, I don't use the word stressful, but I feel like it's just not an effective way to send certain messages, to try to condense it into like a minute. Like, you have to keep, especially on TikTok, it's like keep attention and like bright fonts and things of that nature. And I've really come to terms with the fact that I've never really been this way. My purpose of when I create content is to have it have an impact. And while it might not be the best way to grow, I feel like it's the most like authentic to me. And so for certain content, I feel like, I like to put on YouTube videos like this, especially when I'm getting ready in the morning. I like to listen to certain women that, inspire me. I like to just listen to their thoughts, the way they're approaching things. Like, I like this long form content. I feel like it helps my personal, professional development. And so that's a reason also why I'm making this long form content. I think that especially now more than ever, like, community is important. It's important that we like truly connect. It's important that we're passing resources down to each other. I just feel like this is the platform that's working for me for that. So if you're still here, again, I appreciate it. Let me know what you want to see, because I'm gonna keep this going. Next thing that's staying in is at-home lattes. You save so much money. Like, I was thinking about it this morning as I made my latte. Like, it's like what, like $1 per pod for an espresso, or like $1.20. I mean, coffee is just, the price keeps going up. No. This year, I want to kind of experiment with like making my own like syrups and like really just elevating my coffee experience even more. This will go along with the morning routine. Like, let me just wake up and spend like 20 minutes making myself a cute latte. Why not? And also like taking the time to just like drink my coffee in the morning, journal, decompress. I feel like a lot of times in the fall, it was like coffee was in a hand and I'm like speed running to class. I'm gonna try to slow things down. I'm gonna try to slow things down as much as possible this semester. And lastly, what's staying in is daily workouts. I'm not even like concerned about this myself, because I think I'm really good with my discipline and staying consistent. I love my Pilates, either at home, at the gym. I really got into hot Pilates, and now that I have my hair in braids, I know I'll definitely keep going. So I don't have to worry about my silk press sweating out. So hot Pilates will be seeing me, the gym shall be seeing me, and I'm excited to do all of that. Okay, quickly, what is out this semester? Procrastination is out. Now, I've never been the type that procrastinates like assignments or like readings or things of that nature. What I procrastinate is stuff that would actually take me like 1 to 2 minutes. And it goes back to the networking. It's like just reaching back out to a mentor, or like asking for help on something, like things in the back of my head that I'm like, I should reach back out to that person. And like, I procrastinate that stuff. I'm done with it. I'm like, you know what? And after I do it, and I get the response, let's say an example, asking for a letter of recommendation. Oh, I will procrastinate that to the last minute. Like, I will wait until the last minute, and then once I send it, every time this happened, and then the person will respond back immediately. I would love to write you a letter. And I'm like, why did I like stress over this? Like I would stress about it. Yeah, I'm trying to let that go. Also out is late night scrolling. Yeah, it's got to go. It's got to go. I've gotten pretty good at this as well. I don't think I filmed a nighttime routine, but I will do one soon. I usually have 1 or 2 books on my nightstand. I also have the tendency of always reading 2 books at a time. I just finished the 2 books I was reading yesterday. I read both endings and finished them both. Anyways, I mean, I'm usually pretty good of like reading myself to sleep instead of scrolling, but not every night. One thing that I found is helpful is actually keeping my phone in here. This is my office space. It's like literally a separate room from my bedroom that's right over here. So nice. So nice. And so actually putting my phone in here to charge, and then I can just not have my phone as I'm going to bed. It just has helped my mindfulness so much more. I feel like it's so much better for my mental health. It's definitely, yeah, not late night scrolling. I'm really trying to just kick that habit completely out the door. Overcommitting. You heard me list out all those courses and things. I didn't even list out all my involvement. That was just some of them. And on top of that, that doesn't even include social life as far as, you know, meeting up with friends, you know, planning events with friends, my relationship, which is also a long distance relationship. So like keeping up with that, with family, and also like speaking events, workshops. There's a lot. I'm someone who's always doing a lot. That is who I am. But yeah, I think when I was writing this and reflecting, I don't want to overcommit in a way that like is more out of a state of like, I feel like I have to versus like, I really want to, and I feel like this is a beneficial like relationship. I think really listening to myself when it's like, I'm really tired. I don't have the energy. I don't have the bandwidth. Same with like certain speaking events as well. I've done so many workshops, one-on-one meetings to do mentoring. I love that. I will always do it. But sometimes I have to know when to say no because it's just, you know, I got all this work going on and it's just not working in my cards for that day, that week, etc. Just being really intentional about what I'm committing to and remembering that my time is limited, my time is valuable. Even saying that, it's like, but like it's true, and like it's important for us, especially Black women, to like feel that like we get so much put onto us, so many silent battles that we're facing as well, and also this need or that we also always have to show up, also because you're one of the only ones in the room, right? So you know if you're not there, there's no one else that looks like you there. There's a lot of dimensions to it, and it makes it difficult, but it's why I'm constantly working on it, and I just want to continue working on it. Is like really knowing like, yes, my time is valuable, asking for my worth, be able to make demands. Scary. It sounds scary, but I think it is important, and it's like I'm really getting to the areas where I'm getting older, I'm getting close to starting my career. It feels like it's still like, you know, so long in medicine. I think it's important to be able to do the work that I want to do and really do impactful work and serve the communities I want to serve, is making sure I'm aware that my time is valuable, and so I'm spending it in ways that is beneficial for both me and whoever it is that I'm serving or helping. But yeah, that is my list of ins and outs for the semester, as well as what I'll be up to this semester. I'm very, very excited for it. I think I'm going to learn a lot, grow a lot. Happy New Year. I'm excited, as I said, to continue longer form content, talk about various important things, to share my journey. And so if there's any aspect of that that you really, really want to see, let me know in the comments below so I can bump that up on my list. And I hope everyone has a great start to your semester if you're starting a new one, or regardless, just a great start to your year. All right, see you in my next one.